So, a little while back, I got a Playdate, which, if you don't know, is this little yellow handheld console with a crank on it. That's kind of its main defining characteristic. And while most handhelds that are made now are kind of emulation devices or portable computers, basically, like a Steam Deck or the Ally or things like that, the Playdate is kind of its own little thing. It's plays games specifically made for the Playdate, and um, I guess to get right to the point, it turns out that in addition to you being able to use like I don't even know what normal methods for making games for it, they also have this little browser-based little dev environment here called Pulp. Um, and if you have an account, I think you. I'm not sure if you need to own a Playdate to access it. I don't think you do. You just have to have an account, and you can go here, and there's this really neat little tile-based sort of. I guess it's an engine, a really, really simple little engine that basically lets you make little games for the Playdate right in your browser, which I just think is a really neat concept. This thing is fairly limited, and uh, it's tailored for it's tailored for a specific sort of game, and it's a bit of a weird sort of game. Um, not like you would. I guess you would think, okay, well, they're gonna have something you can make like platformers or things like that, the sort of stuff. But what this actually seems to be catered more toward doing is making little point and click adventures. Except because it's on a Playdate, which has a D-pad, an A and B button, and a crank, they're not really point and click adventures. They're more like, well, I don't know exactly what you'd call them, but they're sort of move around and interact and solve puzzly sort of things. There's a handful of games made in this out already for Playdate, and I don't know. I found this whole thing really fascinating. So what you're seeing here is something I've actually been working on just for fun in Pulp, and I don't quite know exactly what it's going to be yet, except it's a little bit Dusk 82, I guess. Has that same. Oh, here, we'll start it up real quick. And it's hard to see. I don't think this. Yeah, this doesn't have full screen, but yeah, basically you just move around. Ghost enemies move around, turn-based fashion. You can grab bones to hit them with. Uh, you can grab. Let's get this guy off me. Well, I'm dead. I think the speed is a bit off. Oh, that seems like a bug. Oh no, that's not a bug. I'm just stupid. So anyway, you can hit them with bones, and you can move stupidly and die. Let's try this again. You can also grab skulls, and let me get him off of my tail again. Throw the skull, and that gets in their way. Anyway, it's not much yet, but I've been doing a bunch of art for it. This whole thing is tile-based. And it's tile-based in more than just the art creation. So if you'll see right here, a whole bunch of tiles that I've made. These are all 8x8 tiles, which is incredibly limiting. Not only are they just 8x8, but as you can probably tell, it's a 1-bit color situation you're working with. The Playdate is not backlit and is monochromatic. So yeah, you're making like if I made these tiles for making pillars, so you'd have to do something like this. You place several tiles, but it's very limiting to work in just 8x8 with only 2 colors to work with. Anyway, the point though is that you make all these little tiles. It also has you can make music in it with this really simple little music creation thing and a very similar sound creation thing. Just for a minute, making here like there's our sound. Um, and you can edit your font. You can, but it has this also very simple little scripting language, which I said it's tile based in more than just the visuals, and that's because the way this seems to work under the hood, at least what I'm assuming from the limitations and everything, is that this is just this is my player script. I think the way it works is that you basically have just basically an array of tiles. I think it's the whole game, the whole um, game environment is literally just a bunch of tiles, um, and a few variables that tell where the player is. None of these tiles can have any sort of alpha or transparency. The player can, but nothing else. Enemies, these enemies you see here, um, those are also just tiles. To move an enemy, instead of what you would normally do in a normal game engine, which is you would have an enemy object and you have that object, move its coordinates around. What actually happens here is that's just a tile, um, the same as a wall or this skull or this door, or any of those. That's also just a tile, and to move him, you have to make like if I wanted to move him up, this space turns into an enemy, and then this space turns into a black tile. So it's not even really moving an enemy; you're just sort of making a new enemy tile and then deleting the old one. So there's a lot of limitations here. A lot of them. Like there are no arrays, there are no compound conditional statements. There are let's see. There's there's more things that aren't in here than there are things that are in this language. But it's made to be very accessible and for not really for people like me. This is really made more for like if you've never programmed or you've never made a game. This is made to be something where you can just go to it in your browser. You can go to it on your phone actually, and do quite a bit. Like I made a bunch of these just on my phone, just by going to this in the browser on my phone and editing because the sprite editor is very simple. It's literally just you click once, it makes one color. You basically click a color and it turns it into the opposite color. As you can see here, so it's very simple to use. And is that the way it used to be? I don't remember now. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So, where was I going with this? I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember where I was going with this. But anyway, oh yeah, so it's really made to be very accessible and very easy to put something together. If that thing is essentially just um, moving a character around, having them interact with stuff, maybe having them pick up some items and going and using them on other items. If you want to display a menu, it's as simple as, let's see if I can find is that in player where yeah, here we go. This is just you press the B button, it makes a menu here, and you can add stuff to the menu. It's all very simple. And if you want to start having enemy AI, it gets a little messy. As you can see here, there's a lot of. Now I'm gonna defend myself here that there's a lot of really bad programming going on here, but a lot of that is necessary because you can't. There's just a lot of stuff you just can't do. But anyway, to wrap this up, this is a bit of a strange video. I don't know if this quite works as a video, but I thought it would be interesting just to kind of show you guys what this is, because I think it's just a really cool concept. It's been kind of fun to work and try and figure out what you can even make within these limitations. I've found it really fun to make little 8x8 sprites and try and make them look like something, because that can be really challenging. And yeah, it's just neat, and it's something that if you have never made a game before and you don't know any programming, this is very easy to pick up and start doing something with. Probably easier than just about any other tool I'm aware of. Uh, to just jump in here and make something if that thing is basically just moving art around and having it do stuff. So it's kind of cool to play around with. And for that matter, the other reason that I've actually been trying to make something in this is because I find the Playdate itself to be a really cool concept, and I've found myself playing it a lot more than I thought I would. I willingly play it just at home for fun, not just as like a portable device when I'm out and I don't have something that plays more complex games. There's something to be said about the simplicity in a way, but that's a whole other subject. Anyway, just wanted to make this video talking about this cool little thing, and maybe someone watching this will think this is also cool and want to give it a try. So, yeah, that's all I got. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.